Boss, how's it going? Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. We're just gonna have a little quick conversation. Coming on, share the post for me. I'd appreciate it. Oh, it's just me. It's just I'm gonna share something quick. It's not a big group thing. All right, I'll give it 3 more minutes. If you're coming on, please go ahead and share the post. All right, if you're coming on, please go ahead and share the post. We'll get 22 more minutes. 6 o'clock, we'll get going. But if you're coming on, please go ahead and share the post. We're gonna have a quick conversation about the election. Quick conversation about elections. But if you come in, please go ahead and share the post. Conversation. What's going on, madam? All right, got 1 more minute and we'll get started. If you're coming on, please go ahead and share the post. I would greatly appreciate it. All right. All right. Welcome to this quick conversation. More than anything, I just want people that once you see it, I want you to go ahead and share it. Uh, I might got some information that I want to put out there, and in no way do I claim to be a leader in Gainesville at this moment. It's coming, but I've only been pastoring here less than 2 years, and you all have plenty leaders. You all have plenty people that speak up and that share advice. But the one thing that I will always be is a prophet, and there's something that I want to share with you as it relates to elections. We have elections that are upcoming. primary elections, and we have a lot of different positions that a lot of different offices that will be up for election in the primaries. But they're just one conversation I want to have as I attempt to get to know the area and attempt to to be able to look at the officials, to be able to look at those that are running for office, as I attempt to observe what's going on and attend the meetings and see how they think. I'm just taking notes, and I'm taking notes, and so I didn't really come on this live piece right here to tell you who to vote for. And I have shared that with communities that I provide leadership in. But as I said earlier, I'm not yet one of your leaders in Gainesville. I've only been here for less than 2 years, but I am observing, and I am a prophet. And I think one thing that I see in Alachua County or city of Gainesville, it's actually an area to where Democrats have the upper hand. Those that lean blue have the upper hand, and but it still comes with its issues. I think we as a people, we shouldn't put a whole lot of weight on those labels, Democrat and Republican, blue and red. I think we have to be ensured that we vote in our best interest. I think that's the most critical piece, that we vote in our best interest, because sometimes there are people that automatically assume, because you have melanin in your skin, that you will vote for their party, and they take you for granted when they get in office. They take you for granted, and we have to be sure that we don't allow people to take us for granted. When I look at the demographics in Gainesville, it's about 20% black, but there have been a lot of opportunities. But one thing that I've seen on the city commission is they're very ceremonial in their respect for the black community, and some of your leaders are fed by people who, it's not their money, it's your money. Your tax dollars are your money. Those of us that don't get involved in the election process, that's fine. You just donate your tax dollars and choosing to have no representation while you are being taxed, and so that's your issue if you choose not to get involved in the political arena with the elections. You're just giving away your money with no say so, and if you're fine with that, hey, that's your choice. But one thing that I've noticed is that there are people in this community that they 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 are they are supportive of our issues and supportive of our concerns when it benefits them. At heart, I've noticed on the city commission, they use words. They have, they acknowledge Juneteenth. They acknowledge, they use a lot of words. But I'm telling you, those who are liberal can be just as dangerous as those who are conservative. Those who are considered progressive can be just as dangerous if we don't hold them to task. And the one piece of power that we have is our vote. In the primaries, there's a office of mayor that I want to speak to. That there are a lot of candidates in that race, and so it's definitely going to go to the general. They're going to bring the top two out of the primaries, and then they'll go to the general. And I didn't come on here today to support any candidate that's running for that office. But I have noticed the wolf in sheep's clothing. I have noticed a snake, and I see this person at a lot of our functions, and we're thrown off because when we see people that show up at our functions, when we see people that supposedly use the right words, because we have not attended the meetings, because we have not watched and observed we're thrown off. People and some of our leaders, they're being fed by these people. There's funds that they're receiving, and there's monies that's been allocated to projects that they're doing. And what happens is their silence is bought. The one thing that you're going to learn from me is I desire zero friends. I literally desire zero friends. And it's not because I don't like people. It's because my purpose is a lot bigger. My purpose is not to go and make friends. My purpose is to stand up for my people and make sure that I push the word of God and push the desires of God. God said in His word that that He has great desires. He would that we prosper and be in good health, has wonderful plans for His people, and so I can't really totally lean towards anybody. I have to always look and see what's in the best interest of my people, despite what type of resource or influence someone else might have. Because the reality is we do have the power to make people listen to us and hear. And we have over 20% representation in the electorate. And and that says a lot. Where I recently, where I pastored, there was less than 5% representation in the county, and 10% representation in the city. But one thing that we did with a long-term mayor that thought that he was untouchable, we came together as a community and did what we call block voting, and um, and I'm not trying to do that yet because again, I told you I don't hold that leadership status in the community. I'm the leader of my church, Greater Bethel AME Church, but I don't hold that status in the community yet. And but in the community where I pastor, we came together as a community and we held forums, and from those forums, we invited the candidates to leave, and then we had a conversation. If we had 75% agreement on a candidate, we agreed to support that candidate, whether or not that was our the candidate that we wanted or not. But when the group decided, when we had more than 75% support for a candidate, we decided to roll together. And what that does is gives you power. And so what I'm suggesting is, and I'm not going to attempt to pull together any forms, but there's one candidate that I see that says all the right words, but makes many wrong moves. I saw him making a move when they were talking about what to do with some ARPA funds. There was some federal funds that were coming to our county, and he and the mayor's not good for us, but he's not up for reelection. He's termed out. There's a commissioner, Osako, that's not good for us, and there's a commissioner, Hayes Santos, that's not good for us. But we know that. But there's another one by the name of David Ariola. He's not good for us. I've seen him. I've seen where he stands, and I've seen that that move. He's a person that's going to show up to our events. He's a person that's going, but the issue with him is that he feels that he's smarter than everyone else. Some people call those people narcissists. He's smarter than everyone else. I saw it when they dealt with the ARPA funds that they were allocating over $10 million, and him wanting at a time when we are having a housing crisis and everything else, wanting to go with the others that I already named and put that money toward broadband services, which wouldn't be fine at a different day and time. But right now we have a housing crisis going on. We have people who were paying, $500 a month for rent that are now paying $1,200 a month for rent. People that were paying $1,000 now paying 15, 16, 100, and we have a housing crisis that we can use our dollars to assist people in coming out of this crisis. And so I saw him there. I saw some stuff before, but I really saw his hand there. And then most recently, with the exclusionary zoning issue, the exclusionary zoning issue that came up last week, and looking at some of his tweets and just his arrogance. I think that he feels that he has the Negroes by the hand, and they're going to walk with him, and he has enough support to where even when the entire community comes out and says we don't think this will be good for us, and we see what's happening what's happened in over in the Fifth Avenue area. I mean, that area looks totally different. There, when you place all of your eggs, or place all your support behind developers and people that are in our community, much of our net worth begins with home ownership. And then when they tried to take what were single family residential neighborhoods and begin to put them in a position to where they can become multifamily neighborhoods and begin to put them in the hands of the investors, they attempt to keep us as renters. And then eventually, when they convert those neighborhoods and gentrify those neighborhoods, we get pushed out. And land that our families worked hard for, they come under the ownership of others. Just imagine someone having a little small home that their grandmother left them, and then all of the property around them is rezoned, and then now you're able to have these mammoth buildings, and then even just multifamily residential areas. Multifamily buildings around these small residential areas. It changes the fabric of the community, and the community. I mean, great numbers signed petitions. Thousands signed petitions and came out. But when you're a narcissist, you don't listen to what anyone says. And so when I looked at him, I saw how he moves. I saw some of his social media posts that let me know that he just running his mouth. But he's at the point to where he feels that he's bigger than being able to have to listen to citizens. And so I'm encouraging every person that will trust my advice, every person that will trust my request, to put a little block voting action on him, to not vote for him. I'm not telling you who to vote for. That's your choice. But I don't think David Ariola is a good choice for us. And then the way that you do this is that you share this post. You can send it in a private message. You can share it to your thing. I have no desire for friends, and literally fear no one. I'm the one that needs to be feared. I'm the prophet. I don't answer. I don't. Someone asked me in an interview if I could ask the mayor one thing before they did their vote last week, and I said I don't ask anything. I warn and I give advice, and they can follow it or not. And so I'm telling you that it would be good for us with early voting starting on the 13th that we block vote, that we vote for anybody but David Ariola. And then what that'll do when we come out of that primary, showing what the power that we have when we move together, that power will make people listen to you. But we have to work together. And I know there's some that have probably listened to me that they may be able to feel like they can get some benefits from it. They can get some funds for their projects, their organizations, their 501c3s. I'm telling you, we have a responsibility to stand up for our community and do what's best for our community. I'm asking everyone that's watching this, please share the post and encourage everyone you know. I don't care who you vote for, but I'm telling you not to vote for David Ariola. And then you'll send a message that we'll be able to capitalize on at a later date. Might not be the general election. I don't know. Maybe those who are your leaders, may guide in that direction. Maybe when I become a leader here in Gainesville, in the community, we can begin talking about things like that. But we need to make a point. 13th begins the early voting. On the 23rd is actually the day of the primaries. And I encourage everyone to not cast a vote for David Ariola. Have a good day, and please share it. Okay, I don't think I need to respond to anything. All right. Have a wonderful day.